tells us in the book of Genesis 25 verses 21, Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was unable to have children. The Lord answered Isaac's prayer. Now when Isaac got married, now read the Bible and realize Isaac was married to a very beautiful young girl. Isaac was excited when he saw Rebecca. Isaac was happy just like any other young person that now he has gotten what he had desired all his life, a wife for himself. But unfortunately, though he had a wife, children were not coming. Though he had a wife, there were not children in his house. And actually for over 10 years, Isaac did not get a child. And this time around, Isaac realized this is not normal. I am not going to sit down and wait on this fate. I'm not going to wait on fate. I'm not going to wait on luck. It is not about luck. It is not about fate. Now this is something that I want my God to address. And Isaac prayed on behalf of his wife. Isaac knew that he was himself. The problem was not him. Because the Bible tells us very clearly, he prayed on behalf of his wife. Because it was Rebecca who was barren. The problem was his wife. And he could not marry another wife. Now he called upon the name of the Lord on behalf of his wife. And do you know what the Bible tells us? Because she was unable to have children. Then, the same verse, the Lord answered Isaac's prayer. This is what I'm talking about. Prayer is a conversation with God, expecting results. He did not just babble some words because he had heard his father babbling some words in form of prayer. Isaac prayed expecting results. He expected something to happen. He expected that now because my wife is barren, I am going to pray and God is going to do something about this. This is what I am calling prayer this evening. Pray expecting results. Pray expecting that something shall happen. Isaac prayed and God answered. Rebecca was able to have children. See, the situation medically was out of hand. The situation medically, there is nothing doctors could do. It was beyond what they could do. It was beyond the husband. It was beyond the family. It was beyond the community. It was beyond the wife. It was beyond even their wealth. The situation needed a divine hand over it. Isaac realized it and prayed about it, and some results were realized. Rebecca was able to give birth. Rebecca was given ability to conceive. Rebecca was given ability to carry a pregnancy to the term of having child children. And Rebecca gave birth. Pray expecting result. Prayer is conversing with God, expecting results from that conversation. Let me tell you something. There are things that I usually realize in my life that at the age that I am in, at the point where I am, this is not what should be happening. This is not where I should be. These are not the things that I should be happening. And sometimes I realize that these things are not just normal things that I should expect to go. And let me tell you, some of these things calls me for prayer. They call me to take a step of seeking God about them. And this is what Jabez did. He looked at his brothers. He looked at his mother. He realized that his name even is called pain. And Jabez realized that something spiritual must be done. A conversation must be made between me and my maker. And you know what the Bible tells us? Jabez went to God. Jabez cried to the Lord. In 1 Chronicles 4:10, Jabez cried to God. You see, do you know he did not sit down to wait for fate to change things? He did not sit down to wait for fortune to change things or for luck. Jabez decided to have a conversation with God, and God granted his request. Effective prayer should be a conversation between a believer and God. Now, let me tell you something. Now, whenever we go to pray, we are speaking. And if you are speaking, there should be an audience. Someone should be listening to you. You should not pray without expecting an audience. Now, the question that I would like to ask is you. Now, whenever you have prayed, does God receive your prayers there and then? Now, do you have God with you listening to you? Or do you pray, then your prayer hangs somewhere in the air, and then God corrects the words later? Now, when does God receive your prayer? When are your prayers received? When does God become your audience? But when you pray, because we should always pray, and therefore the word when, go away by yourself, shut the door behind you, and pray to your Father in heaven privately, or pray to your Father in private. Then your Father who sees everything will reward you. Now see, prayer is conversation with God. There is an audience, and the audience of our prayer is God, the one listening to us. Whenever you have gone to pray, go expecting to meet God. Go expecting God to hear what you have said. Leave that place of prayer knowing that your Father in heaven has heard your prayer, has listened to you.